Good afternoon and welcome. I'm pleased to welcome Parvathy, Anoop,
Yes.
and Stefan Nesic, respectively an Indian student and a Canadian student. I would like to know, first of all, from which city each of you came? Parvathy in India and Stefan in Canada. Okay.
So thank you for inviting us, first of all. So I'm from Ottawa. That's where I grew up in Canada.
Okay. Thank you for inviting me, but also where I come from, it's a little complicated because my parents, they are from a state called Kerala, which is a state in the south of India. But they moved to Abu Dhabi when I was like 3 months old. So my whole life I grew up in Abu Dhabi in the UAE.
What do you like the most about your hometown?
There's two things I really like about Ottawa, and the first is the mix of French and English culture, that you get a bit of both, and it's not which is kind of the only place I think, or one of the only places in Canada where you have this good mix of cultures. And also the fact that, I mean, it's the capital. This is where like you have the parliament and all the important buildings and politicians. So I think that's nice.
Yeah, really nice. And you?
In Abu Dhabi, the thing that I like best is there are people from all over the world, and even all over the Arab world too. And so you get to see different kinds of people with different backgrounds getting together very well. And everybody's used to an international background in Abu Dhabi. I think that's such a wonderful thing. And they're very good with hearing people with different opinions and being able to say, okay, that's not what I think, but it's okay that other people think that.
Respect.
Yes, respect. It's a very tolerant spirit. And in Kerala, I like the rain.
Oh.
Yeah.
Parvathy, you are doing your master in physics at Sorbonne. Could you tell us a little bit about your program and your master?
So it's a master program. It's a pretty general master program, but later on we can specialize a little more. I mean, right now I have courses in condensed matter physics, which is about atoms, electrons, their interactions, and their properties in matter, how it affects the properties in matter. And I've got atomic and molecular physics, which is again about a similar kind of thing. And I've got nuclear and particle physics too.
And why do you choose Paris?
I chose Paris mainly for the program, because I felt like, especially at that time, I didn't know how to proceed further. Like I didn't know which specialization to do. And I thought this program is really good for me because it introduces me to different things. And it was in Paris.
An exploration.
Yes.
And you, Stefan, you are just received your engineering degree in computer science and networks from the National Institute of Applied Science of Toulouse.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm right?
Yes.
Okay. First of all, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
And why did you come from Toulouse to Paris? Why? Could you tell us a little bit about your currently doing and your future plans? But why did you move?
What I'm currently doing. So initially, when I graduated, because I'd already lived in two cities in France, Grenoble and Toulouse, because I really wanted to explore France, I felt that I wasn't sure where I wanted to live next, and I thought I can't leave France without at least living in Paris for 1 year, just as a nice experience I could always talk about. And then I thought about my future career plans, and I was comparing options, and I stumbled upon like the idea of doing a PhD, and that's what I applied for. And since I didn't have experience in actual research, most of my experience was industrial before, my current supervisor and I talked about the idea of doing a 6-month trial period where I test to see if I like research. And so currently I finished this trial period, and I'm in between my current contract and starting my PhD in machine learning at l'Institut Polytechnique de Paris.
Oh, That's great. What are your plans for the next year? You finish your master, for example.
Next year I have to do the second year of my master's program.
Okay.
And right now I'm really looking into biophysics.
Oh, okay.
That's really all I can say for the moment.
And the physics is still an area where there are a majority of men? No?
Lots of boys, yeah.
If I'm right, what challenge does that fact pose for a woman in that specific study?
That's a very good question. But actually, when I was doing my bachelor's in Abu Dhabi, in our class, we were majority girls. And I feel like the I don't want to call them boys, but they were not really fazed by that. They were not worried by that. It was a really communal spirit between us. And even here, during my master's, I feel the same. I feel like I don't feel like a girl in the class because they don't treat me any differently. So I feel like maybe the times have changed quite a bit.
Yeah, interesting. Stefan, someone told me you have already had experience working with some project for Airbus. Tell me more about that.
Okay, so in my 4th year of studies, during the summer, I was hired as a consultant for Soprasteria, which does, in Toulouse, does primarily IT consulting for Airbus. And after that 3-month experience, I was hired on a 12-month contrat de professionnalisation, which was me working in parallel to my final year of studies and having the final internship be 8 months long, full-time working for Airbus on different projects like analyzing and storing data for production planning of planes, supplier data, and also analyzing project management.
Parvathy, could you tell us about you? Okay, a little bit. Something you like to do, a hobby, or something that we don't know yet about you.
This is the toughest question ever. Something I like to do, I like to do calligraphy actually.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of my hobbies. I feel like these days I don't have a lot of time to practice, but yeah.
Mm. Interesting. What about you, Stefan? Apart from the fact that you play guitar very well,
Thank you.
and do you have some passion?
I really liked learning languages,
Mm-hmm.
and I was learning Polish while I was studying in Poland, and then Norwegians because I was living with Norwegian roommates and had many Norwegian friends in Toulouse for some weird reasons. And whenever I have an opportunity to be able to learn a language that people around me speak, I always like to take it.
Wow. And I think you have a new passion. You love coffee, and that you're experimenting techniques for drawing a coffee mousse or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. So right now I'm Parvathy's already seen some of my results, which are not that good yet.
But he has improved a lot.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
And it's like I'm trying to make latte art because I've seen it that you can make it without an espresso machine. So just with a French press, you can pump air into the milk. And if you do it correctly and you get the right temperature and the right amount of air, you can make drawings on top of your espresso, and then you make a cappuccino or a latte, depending on what you want. And so, yeah, I started to really go into this with a passion, and right now I have purchased some different devices like a latte art milk jug for specifically drawing on coffee.
For the pleasure of your colleagues here, no?
Yeah.
What is your best memories at the MEC or in that city?
My favorite thing about the MEC, definitely the people. When I first came here, I was really scared. I was like, I don't know anybody, and it's really different from the way I grew up, and am I gonna make friends? But when I came here, it was so easy. Everybody is so open-hearted and so friendly. And I also love how, especially on our floor, I think there's so much cooking going on. And when I came here, I didn't know how to cook at all. Like, I could make tea, but that was it. But just by being in the kitchen, I feel like I've learned so much from everybody else and eaten everybody's food.
Comparing the other lockdowns we've had here it was so much nicer to be with people, to have different events that are organized, and I think my favorite memories are also like helping around with the cooking, because it's just when I'm not cooking, organizing it, it's so relaxing. I just have to do a simple task, and it's very social, and at the end we get to give food to people, which is always fun.
Yeah, and great.
Yeah.
I have an idea, okay? In the 5 years, do you see yourself where?
I'm laughing because I told Parvathy to prepare for this question. She was like, this is a very tough question.
I'm not really a future planner. Like, I feel like I never make plans, and I just kind of go with the flow and see where life takes me. So at the moment, no idea.
You don't know? Okay.
Yeah, I have to say myself, even if I have the plan that in 3 years, hopefully my PhD will be finished, and then I'll have this experience. So I'm not sure yet if I want to work in, I'm more leaning towards industrial research right now, so working in like the research department of a company, but I have no idea what I'll do after the 5 years.
It's too far.
Yeah, it's hard.
I don't know what I'm going to do tomorrow.
In closing, I would like to thank Parvathy and Stefan for accepting this invitation and to have opportunity to know you better.
Thank you for inviting us.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah, and thank you one more time for following us on this adventure, and see you next time.